you know, you sometimes don't know what you want, you know, you don't know where you're going, and it's not a bad thing, you know, it's not, I think in fact it's incredibly liberating, because then you discover things that you didn't ever dream of before, you know, and they become new pathways or avenues that you could travel down. It's like a dance, and you're just sort of finding it, feeling the curves, feeling, you know, where things will go, like the direction, because like the directions of the lines, and you sort of move with them. Welcome to Ponte di Ferro, the Iron Bridge. This is one of the dogs which is going to go to Vienna, I think. This is in black marble. It's a type of Spanish stone. Ideally, when the stone is polished, it will arrive at this color. I've been kind of combining, like you'll see, the stone with the metal, then wood with the stone. I quite like to play with the materials and mix them. I wanted to kind of use stone because it's such a memorializing material. You know, it's an immortal material, and it's, you know, you can play magician, and you can fix yourself in a moment in time that, you know, my body will have aged by 2 years, and this stone will stay like that forever, you know. And so I think, yeah, I don't know if you feel that way, but sometimes you just want things to just stay. You don't want time to move. It's like time is a sculptor too. It's a very slow sculptor, but it's there. Started like a month ago or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
From just
a block. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you would draw the outline of the dog on it, or start freestyle?
Yeah. So I would when I got the block, so it was all like this, and pencil, draw the silhouette, because I like. For me, like the reason I make the forms I make, I'm really interested in the silhouette. Like for me, that's what makes a sculpture, and I find it sort of, it's like a drawing. And I can translate a drawing onto a piece of stone if I think about it from those two angles. I have a sculpture here that I've kind of neglected. So all of the stone that you see around belong to this piece. So it's like you get quite a lot of loss.
It's like being at the hairdresser and you see the hair that falls down.
Yeah. But I've sort of neglected it because the sun is so hot right now, and it's like in shadow. It will go into shadow and I can maybe work on it, but like I need to, it's pretty much resolved. It's, you know, some people, I don't know what your experience is, but some people are like working on one thing and one thing only. For me, it's like there's a whole village, you know, there's a lot going on, lots of stages, because it takes so long to resolve a sculpture.
Yeah.
that you need to, like, I need to have other things going on, otherwise it can really weigh me down if I'm just working on one thing.
Can you remind me again what this is going to be?
Oh, so it's going to be two dogs kind of chained together, and one is lying down, so like This is the maquette of what it might be. I mean, the breed has changed, but
I love this. Okay.
yeah. So the breed, this kind of looked like greyhounds. At first this was standing, and then I made it sit. This is like why I love this studio so much. Okay, careful of Mr. Snake. Snake, 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 snake.
Did you ever see yourself here, like in your previous life? Did you like dream about it or something like that?
I think I must have, because I knew when I was younger, I met an Italian sculptor, and he was telling me about his life in Italy, and he was making sculptures in his studio in Umbria, and I was like, and I was painting at the time, and I remember thinking, wow, that sounds really nice. I think I was maybe 16 or 17 when I met him. And I must have just stored that memory away, but it just seemed so remote, like it would never, I'd never be in a place in my life where I could find this.
Did you start working in this field, working with stone, already in England? Like, when did you start sculpting?
Before I was like a painter, and I just painted, and I was curious, or like what I noticed was that I was more interested in like the form that I was painting rather than like the paint quality. Like I wanted to get to the bottom of that thing that it was, like understand that object. And I went to like an evening class once in like before, I think it was just before lockdown or something, in London, and he got like a block of limestone and like a chisel and a hammer and a little sandbox, and you could just sort of sculpt away. And I kind of quickly realized that like that's not, I'm never going to finish a sculpture this way. Like, but I was just like, yeah, no, I'll go, and I did, you know, a few hours, but I was just like, this is like futile. I need to like find a way, and I had no idea about Italy. I didn't know that Carrara existed, but I knew that there was a quarry in England, and so I took myself down there. And then whilst I was there, somebody mentioned Carrara. They said, oh, there's this place where you can like carve marble, but like, why would you want to work with marble? It's got no history. And I was like, what do they mean by that? Like, it's got no history. I was like, so it's like, it's got a lot of human history, but not like geological or fossil history, which is kind of where the English sort of sensibility was. And I immediately was like, I need to like discover this place. Yeah, it was scary. It was scary. It was, and it wasn't, I wasn't exactly encouraged or anything like that. And I just needed to do it. It was just something I was like, I cannot live the rest of my life and not know what this would be like. If you know what you want or where you're going, you wouldn't be an artist. Who is like, that feeling of being lost is that, you know, that affirmative feeling. Like, that's how you know, because there is no definitive answer. So you're searching for things. You're not running away. You're running towards something. And like that feeling of being lost, like that's a moment of when you don't feel the ground under your feet anymore, and when you're not comfortable in an environment, is sometimes when you show yourself to yourself, or you reveal something to yourself about you, or you can make something, or do something or achieve something that you didn't necessarily think that you could. Marble it's got human history for sure. I mean, it's laden and burdened with history, but in a different way, like from the Renaissance, and it was the material to show and demonstrate power, authority, and who was in control, right? And that's interesting in itself. And then you have granite, which is like the kind of cradle of humanity, which preserves like languages. Like look at the Rosetta Stone. You know, we wouldn't have been able to understand hieroglyphics had it not been for a piece of granite that survived with these inscriptions. Like it's got so much more than just, you know, there's so much symbolism, and like stone circles. Like why did every civilization create stone circles? You can see all the different types of marble in here. And this is all of the stones that I've been working with, a lot of the local quarries, and you can see how different. Just the variety is crazy. The Laocoon, which is one of the discoveries made in Michelangelo's time. And here, so a lot of these are gesso copies that students could use to make versions in stone. My friend who runs the museum shop, they're a studio that make work for big artists. So they do like a lot of Damien Hirst sculptures here, a lot of Jeff Koons sculptures. And I don't know, you can see there's pieces like their refuse. Oh, actually here, I'll show you. So you see it's milled out by a robot, and they got to a certain point in the sculpture and they probably found a crack. And so it was just discarded. Yeah. And it's like every day, like when the seasons change, like the aspect changes. Like now it's quite hazy. Like sometimes in the winter when the light's like very crisp, it's a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah.
I love this sign for the tourist: don't entry, dangerous.
Okay.
The home of marble. There's a reason I'm here.
Yeah.
art is such an elemental moment, and it's playful enough that you can experiment with thoughts and ideas and the banality or the futility of them, and take them to a place, because you're not harming anyone. You're just trying to work something out for yourself. Actually, I painted 2 portraits of my mother. The first one I did when I was 11 years old, and I painted these, like the eyes, because I was just so focused on, you know, the windows of the soul. And I was like, these eyes of hers, and they were like her eyes. I just captured them, you know, because I just really went somewhere with this painting, and but it took me a while, right? And then I stepped away from the canvas, and I realized that the eyes about this far off the top of the canvas. The thing I love about sculpture painting is you can get to a place where you feel that your efforts deliver some kind of like satisfaction that nothing else can deliver. And it was that moment when I looked in those eyes, and it was this recognition, and I was like, I've captured something there. But there was this really beautiful narrative, and it was, so you have like a master and a slave, and it's actually 2 people in the world, and this is his kind of romanticized, idealized perception of what happens, you know, humanity before humanity, like primitive man going through the world, and he's like negating objects, he's consuming, you know, the things that he encounters, cows and deer and plants and whatever, and he's not kind of conscious or aware of himself, he's just negating objects before him until he encounters another man. And so the first thing that he wants to do, his impulse is to negate, so they get into this struggle. So it's into this fight and their combat, and they're fighting each other. And at one point, one man is stronger than the other, and he realizes, the weaker man, that he's going to be killed if he doesn't capitulate and surrender. And so he says, okay, surrender, mercy. And so he becomes the slave to the master that's, you know, won this fight. And the master then starts ordering the slave, bring me water, bring me food, do this for me. And so the slave, you know, bringing him water, and he's trying to find, you know, like he'll bring it in a leaf, you know, or like he'll bring it in his hands and it will leak out. And so he has to start inventing things, right? This is my memory of this, mismemory. And so then he's like, okay, here's some clay. And he's like, I'm gonna make a pot, a vessel that I can put the water into and bring it to the master. But it's in the act of making that pot that he becomes consciously aware of himself within the process of creating that thing. And it's like that act of self-realization and awareness of what you are through the things that you're making. This is your sculpture, your first ever stone sculpture. This is going to be a masterpiece.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Yay! And I'm wearing flip-flops. First cuts into the stone, and we're not making a pineapple. We're making a hole in the mountain.
Hey, there you go. This is your first experience. Really, you've never cut any stone before.
Yeah. So, how did your student do today?
Excellent. Look at it. This is so good.
Cool.
All your sculptures or paintings or whatever look like you in some way, you know? You always see something reflected back. Objects make you feel something. I'm definitely a materialist in that way, not like, you know, a material girl, but a materialist in that objects do something to you. A sculpture being in a room, it's not a humble object. It's asking you to come to it. It's asking you to move around it. It's asking you to notice it and be present with it somehow.